Welcome to today's episode of Brand OTC, where we answer your branding questions with a full over the counter product. All right, now today we're changing things up just a little bit, and today's product is a candy bar. Now, why did we choose a candy bar? We chose a candy bar because, yes, it's okay in moderation, but it's terrible for your teeth. Now, a candy bar is great for this type of an episode because many of us are eating up these misconceptions about branding and not realizing the damage that it's doing to our brands. So, in this particular episode, we're going to talk about the myth and misconception that branding is just too expensive. All right, so let's get right into it. Hello, hello. My name is Cynthia Akita, and I am your brand strategist and your brand educator here at the Design Firmacy. Now, today's episode, we're going to be focusing a lot on the misconception that branding is just way too expensive. Now, I get it. I've been there before. Building a business costs money. I know a lot of times we like to believe that we can get away with not spending much money and we can get all the free things, and yes, you can get free for so long, right? Before you need to actually start investing and putting your money where your mouth is. I think that's the term, right? Putting your money where your mouth is, right? But we cannot cling onto these free things forever. There are certain things that you absolutely need to invest your money in order to get that return, and your business is one of those areas. And in your business, branding is an area where you definitely want to be strategic about it, and you don't want to be holding on and clenching onto your coins in that particular area because it is essentially the foundation of the entire business that you are building. So it's not an area where you want to be sparing or spend sparingly, but you also don't want to just throw money away. And I want to be clear about that, right? Find the right person that's going to help you clarify what you're doing, who you're serving, and the approach that you're going to take in order to um, let people understand that you are the person that they need for whatever problem that they may have. So be smart with your money, right? But at the same time, it's not going to be free. Now, I've worked in branding for a while now, and I've done, excuse me, web designs. I've done logo suites for people. And a lot of times I would get turned away. And sometimes even now, I get turned away because um, the budget is not necessarily there for a lot of people who seek me out at times. And what I would like to pose to you is, maybe some of us think that it's expensive because we don't really understand the value of what it means to have branding or to have professional branding and brand strategy within our businesses. Because if you understood that something you're investing in had a great return, like, you could think of the stock market. People invest in Apple. They know that Apple is going to be on the up and up, hopefully till kingdom come, right? And so they know that if they invest their money in Apple, they're going to get a great return. They know that if they invest their money in maybe in Amazon, a business that everybody or almost everybody uses, they know that they're going to get a return because their money is not going into some pit, right? And you should view your branding that way as well. Your branding gives you an amazing ROI. It literally shapes how people view you. It eventually shapes how quickly they respond to the things that you put out there. And it keeps your business alive and it keeps your business afloat. And that's not something that you want to miss out on, just because you may not see the value in it, or because you don't have the budget for it, I should say. Now, something else that we have to think about is the fact that we typically tie the term branding to the idea of having a logo. And branding is far beyond just that one logo. It is an entire strategy to help people understand why they need you without them even knowing that you're kind of bidding at them. And so I think it's very important that if you don't understand the value behind branding, I have a free course for you called Nice to Brand You. It is a course that teaches you what branding is, what it entails, the benefits of branding, and why you should invest. And you can enroll for that by visiting nicetobrandyu.com. All right. So that's just a very shameless plug. If you know that you're not completely sure about branding and whether you actually need it in your business, that course will set you straight and you will hopefully become a believer. Now, another thing to consider is the fact that a lot of us don't take our brand seriously. So I think it's important to evaluate what your goals are, right? So, sorry, my voice kind of did something there. It's important to evaluate what your goals are. Now, is this business just a side hustle that you're using to just get by with, or is it something that you truly want to build a legacy with, something that will serve your family for generations to come? Because when you understand what your goals are, you approach your business building differently. That's when you start educating yourself on how to hire employees and how to set them up and, business structure, right? But if you believe that, you're just doing something on the side, maybe it's just for fun, you don't really expect it to, go beyond just your home, your living room, your office space, then I would understand why you would think that, branding is too expensive because it is not your goal to really go far beyond that. And I'm not trying to say that going far beyond means that you can't work in your home office. You absolutely can, even if you have a team, right? But if your goal is just not to go beyond yourself, if you don't want or don't care for your business surviving beyond you, then it's totally understandable that, you don't want to spend too much money or invest. I shouldn't say too much money, that you don't want to invest in branding specifically. In that case, I totally understand, going to like maybe a Fiverr or finding someone who doesn't charge too much for branding because essentially you would just be looking for the logo in those cases, right? Not an entire strategy or an entire concept around your business. So I totally understand that. And that's totally fine. That's your decision. Again, but it's based on your goals, and I cannot tell you what type of goal to have. Now, let's get into 5 reasons why people think branding is too expensive. I mean, I've kind of covered a little bit of it, but let's really get into it. So, reason number one, the idea is that branding is just a logo and designers charge too much. Now, I kind of just went over this, but let's go through it again a little bit more in depth. Now, this is an inaccurate belief because, again, branding is so much more than just a logo. The logo is just the identifying piece, right? But branding as a whole encompasses that identity, the part that people see. It encompasses strategy, your messaging, how people receive what you're saying, your customer experience, and then your positioning as well. And so that is the space that you take up in someone's mind when they see your logo or when they hear your brand name. And so having a strong brand tends to, or not tends to, but it attracts customers and it helps to build that long-term loyalty. So it makes branding a worthwhile investment. Now, think of branding as you building a relationship with your customer, right? A lot of times you're going to hear me make a lot of relationship analogies because that's literally what it is. And most people can relate to, relationship comparisons because relationships are all around us. That's literally what we do all day, every day. We relate to people, right? And so when you're building a relationship, one that you actually care for, you want to make sure that you invest, even in, a person to person relationship, right? You invest your time, you even invest your money, you invest emotional capacity. Like you go above and beyond for this person that you care about because you know that they respond to certain things, certain gestures, so on and so forth, right? And in the same manner, your branding helps you to relate and respond to what your audience needs. You can't just wake up one day and just throw things out there and hope that they stick to the wall, right? Not with your audience. You have to be strategic, you have to be intentional, especially if you want them to respond in a particular manner. So, branding is a worthwhile investment. So, instead of seeing it as an expense, again, switch that, like the word cost or expense, and switch it for investment, because it's an investment that helps you to stand out. It helps you to build that relationship that I was talking about and to build trust over time. A relationship is nothing without trust. And I'm sure we all know this from, our personal relationships, right? You you can't do anything with anyone that you do not trust. And the moment that trust is broken, it takes a long, long, long time to repair it. And that's if it can even be 100% repaired, right? And so you may get to 99 and still think, like, at the back of your mind, yeah, but you did X, Y, and Z 257 months ago, and I still remember, right? So trust is a big deal, and you want to build trust through consistency with your audience. And that consistency can only happen if you have a blueprint of what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to say, how you're supposed to say it, so on and so forth. So, branding is a worthwhile investment. Now, reason number two: people typically believe I can't afford branding right now. I'll do it later on. Now, this belief is inaccurate because sometimes if you're waiting too long to establish a clear identity, it costs you a lot more. It may cost you money, it'll cost you lost customers or confused customers. That unclear messaging and weak positioning will keep people from settling down with you. And that's not worth the risk either. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes when you're starting off a business, you may not be as clear as you want to be, and that's just normal. How many times have people gone through pivots and switch things around or try something out and realize that, hey, maybe this isn't what I want to do. Maybe I want to change it to this or I want to change it to that. I totally understand that. I still believe that you should get your feet wet, see what's, in the water a little bit before you invest in branding, um, like a full-blown brand strategy, right? Because first you want to make sure that your idea is validated, that people actually want what you're providing. So, yes, I totally understand that. I'm not saying that it's fit for everyone to jump right in from the onset, but you do not want to wait too long to establish that clear identity, because also remember that, especially when it comes to the visuals, this is the thing that helps you set yourself apart from the next person. There will always be a next person, a next brand, or a next business, and you don't want to lose the opportunity of people identifying who you are despite those other businesses being around. So you want to find a way to establish how unique you are to your specific audience, and you cannot waste time on that. So, without branding, businesses often waste money on inconsistent marketing efforts that don't convert, which essentially, a lot of times people go for the quick logo and the quick website, right? But if you don't invest in the full package with strategy, you will essentially have to purchase those things over and over again because you didn't do it right the first time around. So you could have a beautiful website that just does not convert because it's not actually speaking to the audience that you want to convert, or the audience that you want to impact. And so you would have to go back to the drawing board and have someone design something that was specifically made with the proper messaging for your audience. And that is a waste of money. It's a waste of time. And so, no, it's not too expensive, but if you don't take the correct route, or the correct route, it will have you wasting money that you could have spent on a proper strategy the first time around. So change your belief on that and change it to: a strategic brand foundation saves you money in the long run by ensuring that marketing efforts are effective and cohesive right from the start. All right. Now, reason number three, or belief number three, is I can DIY my brand for free. Okay. Go ahead. Try it out. Let me know how that works for you. And for some of you, especially if you have a creative side and you do a lot of your own research, you can definitely get that done on your own, right? But if you know that that's not your wheelhouse, you don't want to tap into that and stress yourself out. That's why we have professionals. So, this belief is inaccurate because while your DIY branding tools exist, like you have Adobe, like anybody can buy Adobe, right? You don't need a specific license to go and start an Adobe subscription, right? Although we have access to all these tools, the lack of strategy, consistency, and a deep understanding of your market will hurt you. It will sincerely hurt you because it's not just about colors again. It's not just about having a logo. It goes far deeper than that. I mean, you couldn't build a house unless it was on a sturdy foundation, right? Unless there was some dirt underneath, some concrete, some I don't even know the names, like the wiring and all that stuff. Cement, I think did I say cement already? All the things that help to keep the house standing upright and firm and strong, right? You can't just go up into the air and just start putting up paneling and wood and painting. Like it's just going to fall apart because it's not actually on something. And so that's something that your house needs to be on. That foundation is literally the strategy of your business. If we switch it up and talk about business, the foundation of your business is that strategy. So, professional branding is not just about the design. And I want to reiterate that over and over and over and over again. Professional branding is not just about the design. The design is a great part of it, but the design in and of itself is actually influenced by strategy, psychology, and the differentiation of your business or that value proposition, that secret sauce, or what I like to call your brand butter, right? The thing that sets you apart, that special thing that you have that you slather over everything within your business, right? And so branding encompasses all of those things and it's well crafted to help you charge even higher prices, to attract the right customers, and to help you build credibility. Because let's be honest, if you go to Walmart, right? Excuse me, Walmart has the Great Value brand, right? That's their um like their signature like in-home brand, right? Target has theirs too. I think it starts with good. I can see what it looks like, but I can't remember the name, right? Most supermarkets have their own brand of a lot of the products that they sell, especially the food items or the canned items, right? But when you go to Walmart, you know that if you get anything that says great value on it, it's going to be the cheaper version, right? But if, let's say, you're buying tomato paste, right? And you have great value at a certain price, but then you have Hunts, which is going to be a bit more expensive, right? Because that is their brand because they have strategized and they know. I'm not saying that Walmart doesn't know the value of what they bring to the table, but Hunt's has a certain process that they may take their tomatoes through. They may have a certain reputation, and so they're more trusted. And because of that, they can charge higher prices, right? They have a certain type of customer that is going to buy from them. They have that credibility that they've built over time, and branding helps you to do that. Now, belief number 4 is that branding does not bring in immediate results. Now, branding may not bring in like literally, I guess immediate is the word, immediate results, right? But that thinking is still wrong. So while branding is not like the quick fix, like an ad campaign or, something where you see the instant result, it lays the foundation for long-term success and growth within your business. So a strong brand will always build customer trust, um, or on the opposite, it could deter people away from you depending on how you brand, right? But if you brand well, it'll build trust, it'll build loyalty, and it'll send in a lot of referrals. Like word of mouth is still a great form of marketing. It's probably one of the most popular because it gets the job done. I mean, you would rather believe someone who's actually gone through something than someone who, or than an ad that's trying to convince you that something is good, right? So referrals are still important, and that comes from building that trust and building that relationship through a solidified brand strategy. And all of that ultimately leads you to sustained revenue and growth. And so your money is going to continue to grow um, at a steady, well, hopefully at a steady pace, but over a longer range of time. And that's what you want, consistency over a long range of time. Now, instead of thinking that it doesn't bring in immediate results, reframe your thinking to branding not being about instant sales. It's not about instant sales. At a point, it will get to that once you've been consistent in your strategy and you've really built trust with your audience, right? But overall, it's about creating a powerful presence that will attract your ideal customers consistently over some time. Now, number five, belief number five is that big brands spend millions on branding, so it must be out of my budget now. No, ma'am, no, sir, that's not it. This is not true because while corporations can spend millions refining their brand, you don't actually need $1 million budget. Nobody does, right? To create a strong strategic brand. Now, branding is scalable and you can start with the essential elements from the onset. Start with strategy, start with your messaging, get very clear on that, and then start with your visual identity. Focus on those three things: your strategy, your messaging, and your identity. And let your branding evolve over time, but at least have the basics, right? These bigger companies are doing a lot of marketing campaigns, and so they have the budgets because they have bigger goals. They have, like, I mean, when you see their goals, it's down to the numeric value, right? But for someone that's just like you and me starting out, who is not yet at that level, because you will get there soon in Jesus' name, right? You can start again with strategy, messaging, and then your visual identity. So, all in all, a well executed brand, even on a smaller budget, can make you look like a premium business. It will truly help you to build trust. Again, I keep saying trust and loyalty and all of that. It'll help to build trust and it'll increase your perceived value. So people are going to think that you are at a higher state than you may actually be, which will always help you. Because let's be honest, if you look like you're brand new, or if you have assets that don't look professional, it will actually hurt your brand because people will think that maybe you're not a brand that they can trust. Maybe they'll buy something on your website and they'll never get it, right? And so those thoughts come to mind. So, what I can say in addition is that in the same way that you scrutinize other businesses when it's time for you to spend your money, think about the fact that other people are also scrutinizing your business the same exact way because their dollars also mean something to them. To them. Sorry. All right. So let's do some final takeaways before we wrap this up. Now, number one, or overall, understand that branding, again, is an investment and not a cost. Don't see it as an expense. It is an investment. It's something that you get a return on as time goes along. A strong brand helps you to attract the right audience. There's that word again, to build credibility, trust, and to increase your revenue. Next is that not investing in branding leads to missed opportunities, wasted marketing dollars, and a forgettable business. You do not want to waste your money. You should rather save it up and then invest it in the right place. And then finally, a well branded business can charge premium prices and stand out in a crowded market. And we all know how saturated these markets are. So, you definitely don't want to take a chance on not being able to stand out in a sea of competitors. So instead of asking yourself, how much does branding cost? I want you to rather ask yourself, how much is it costing you not to invest in your branding? Excuse me. And so that's all I have for you today. Again, if you don't understand the value of branding or you don't understand what branding is in the first place, it is okay. No need to be ashamed. We're all here to learn. That's the purpose of this show, right? So please visit nicetobrandyu.com and you will receive, or you have the ability, sorry, to enroll in our free course. And then from there, please continue to watch our videos here on YouTube to better understand what branding is and how it can impact your business. And I will see you guys in the next video or in the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and share this with a business bestie who could benefit from the information as well. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. I want to invite you to our newest tool. Now, ask yourself, is your brand truly healthy, or are hidden issues holding you back? Too many entrepreneurs struggle with brand inconsistency, unclear messaging, and offers that don't convert. But now you have a chance to diagnose and fix these problems before they cost you more time and money. And we don't have too much of that, especially time, right? So I am inviting you to take the Brand Vitals assessment, where it is a medical style brand checkup that evaluates the 9 critical areas of your brand so that you can stop guessing and start making data driven improvements that attract more customers, increase trust, and boost conversions. So make sure you take your assessment today. Have you tapped into your Firmacy benefits? As a beneficiary, you unlock special offers, gifts, and always stay in the loop. Subscribe today to receive your exclusive dose. Visit firmacybenefits.com.